Welcome to the Bearded Bro Show podcast. Damn, does it feel good to say that again? I'm Dustin, and I'm here with Trav, always.
I thought you were gonna leave a space again, so I was about to be like, I gotta say Trav, like all awkwardly again.
Never.
Yeah, it actually does feel good. I was just talking to Dustin before we started recording this, like, it's like, even though we're not really, it's like there's not a lot of traction, there's not a lot of any of that yet, but like it just feels good to just let stuff out, discuss things, talk about certain things, and by the way, speaking of talking about certain things, you can email us at bbroshow@gmail.com, or also, because last time we got like advice for marriage or whatever on Twitter, that kind of made me realize, well, the Twitter, everything like that, all of that is in the description below. I finally built the best description you're ever going to get on this podcast, on the YouTube version of this podcast. We are on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Working on getting on iTunes soon. I don't know what's taking them so long. Pocket Cast and a bunch of others. If you're on YouTube right now, you can scroll down and click all those links to whatever you want to listen to us on the way to work or whatever.
We do sound good in the car,
all
by the way.
All those things. Do what?
We do sound good in the car, by the way.
We sound freaking amazing. Like, it adds a whole new bass to my voice that I don't actually have.
Exactly.
Like, especially with this mic that I have and everything.
I sound less like a bitch in the car.
Why? It's like I didn't expect him to say that, but I was also like not surprised when I heard it.
Right.
So on a kind of a sad, serious note, real quick, we wanted to pay our respects and go ahead and mention, because some of you are probably wondering if we're going to mention it, or you might not be, but obviously the whole world found out Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter crash. I actually found out,
including his 13-year-old daughter.
His daughter and a bunch of others, like all 9 people altogether. And I was looking today on the internet, like looked at all the photos and everything, and it's just sad. Like, and they had all the names revealed, and just a legend. And I'll let Dustin kind of take that away in a minute, because I know you're more of a sports guy, but
right.
But Kobe Bryant just. We want to take a moment of silence, so we're going to. Dustin hit me up with the idea. I was gonna say like 15 seconds, but didn't you say like 24?
Yes, because
like his number.
His number was 24. So we're gonna.
And I think that's genius. So we're gonna right now do a moment of silence for Kobe Bryant and everyone that passed away on that helicopter crash on Sunday morning. So, you are a sports fan.
I am a sports fan. Yes, I am.
A little bit of like your Kobe Bryant background, I guess you could say, or you're kind of like.
So I am 27 years old, and basketball is the one sport that I follow closely. I don't get to see every single game or keep up with every single game, but I grew up watching Michael Jordan and obviously Kobe Bryant. I've watched Kobe play through his prime, never in person, but I've been to a few NBA games, but I've never got to see the Lakers play. But I know that Kobe was just an absolute beast on the court, and that man, if you guys can look it up, that man had the most insane routine ever. That dude was in the gym at 5 a.m. doing drills for basketball at 5 a.m. every single day. He was a family man, married to a wonderful woman named Vanessa, and they had 4 kids. And the most unfortunate thing about his daughter passing, his daughter Gigi, was she was 13, and she was the only one of his kids that played basketball. So it's almost like, if none of his other daughters pick up the ball, that's it for the Bryant name. And it's never obviously going to go away from basketball itself. He is a legend. He is the only person in the NBA that has 2 jerseys retired. He has 2 Lakers jerseys retired, which is crazy. Number 8, number 24. He's won many championships, and he actually had an 81-point game before. It's crazy.
I saw a video about him because obviously, like, this happening kind of, you know how YouTube is, it suggests things, and
Right.
I've obviously done a little bit of research after this, and, like, kind of, like, because, you know, like, I've always respected basketball in a lot of ways. Like, obviously I love football, but I think basketball might be the least dangerous one, but that whole CTE thing, that Aaron Hernandez, by the way, watch that whole thing. The Aaron Hernandez documentary is amazing, guys. That is not my recommendation, but I'm doing like a little pre-rec in this podcast. The Aaron Hernandez documentary, Netflix, watch it. 3 hours, but just space it out. I did, and it's really
so
good documentary and a lot of information that, like what Dustin said last time, so much information. And this dude had like cameras at his house and stuff. Like, there's a lot of footage.
He incriminated himself. Idiot. But anyways.
Yeah, dude, that was blew my mind. But anyway, like Kobe Bryant, just I always respected the game because there's so much intensity, and like it's weird because basketball and football are the two sports that, like, if it's on a TV in a waiting room or like some doctor's office or something, it's like, it's weird because it's really addicting to watch. Like, basketball is like, it's really interesting, just like the athletic part of it. It's like, you know, jumping and like doing all of the crazy stuff, and like, and and it makes me want to go back. Like, maybe there's somewhere online that you can watch full games of Kobe Bryant, because like,
oh, I'm sure.
Watch
his game where he dropped 81 points. My recommendation for you, Travis, watch the game where he dropped the highlights, if you can't find the full game, of him dropping 81 points, and then watch the last 60 seconds of his final game as a Los Angeles Laker. And it's cool because one of my managers that I work with at my job, big Kobe and big Lakers fan. He was actually at Kobe's very last game. So he was obviously very affected by what happened over the last 48 hours. And he said something to me too, and it kind of stuck with me tonight he's like, you know, I absolutely love him as a basketball player and as a human being. He's like, I thought he was a great man. And basically, he's like the family man that people should idolize and strive to be. And he was like, part of me wants to cry. And he's like, but at the same time, like, it doesn't feel real that he's actually gone because it's such an unconventional way to pass. And it really is. You never hear about stuff like that. Nowadays, it's rappers fucking overdosing on Percocets and lean. Like, it...
I know, like, one of my friends that's on YouTube, he basically mentioned, like, he's a huge basketball fan, huge Lakers fan. He said, like, one of his coworkers, like, cried on his shoulder, like, so hard, and he never seen that man cry, because he revealed the news to him, and that his friend didn't know. He just was like, there's no way, and then he had to break the news. But
it hit me. I teared up. And I'm not, like, Kobe.
Oh, yeah.
Kobe wasn't my favorite player, but, like, I respected him as a player. You know, like, he wasn't somebody that, like, I was like, oh my God, Kobe Bryant. Like, I liked Kobe, but, like, he wasn't, like, my favorite player.
Yeah, you know, and, like, what I was gonna say earlier was, like, my YouTuber buddy basically said, like, on his video, like, exactly what you were saying. Kobe didn't commit suicide. He didn't overdose. He didn't do drugs. It's just almost sadder because he had a lot to live for and all this stuff, and he was going places and everything.
Oh,
and, like,
absolutely.
You know, he already went places. What am I saying? Like, it was stupid mean to say. Like, he's already. Someone put a comment like, "A man died that day, but a legend was born," or something like that. And you know, you can, you know, everybody has, you know, everyone has their own thing. And by the way, real quick, if I see one more person freaking title their video Kobe Bryant helicopter going down, and it's like a footage of a helicopter going down a daggum Iraqi desert, I'm gonna kill somebody.
That's
I'm
messed up.
like literally somebody shared on Facebook, one of my friends, and I'm not hating on this person that shared it, but he kind of was like fooled into it like this, and like, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, the people that died, here's the footage of this. And I was like, and I commented, I was like, dude, this is fake. Like, I saw this on YouTube earlier, and it was like a TikTok thing. Like, it was clearly a helicopter on fire going down in a very deserty hill area. Like, I mean, it looked like straight up Egypt. Like, it looked so... And I'm like, there is no way that that's that, because who the heck would have been like... They went down really fast, guys. Like, I don't think, nobody, like, some bikers found the helicopter or whatever, like, burning. Like, nobody was catching that footage. But anyway, on to the next thing.
One thing I
but
do
yeah,
want to
Kobe
bring
Bryant,
up about the whole Kobe Bryant thing before we transition any further, this is the thing that bothered me the most, and I put myself in his wife's shoes because I'm a family man. I have a family now. I'm engaged. I have kids. His wife had no idea what happened. She found out through social media from people blowing her social media up of RIP, oh my God, I'm so sorry this happened. Are you okay? You know, and then seeing an
Wow.
article from TMZ before the authorities even alerted her. And now there's death hoaxes all the time. I'm sure you guys have seen it if you are frequent.
Yeah, I thought Paul
viewers
Walker
of the
was a
internet.
hoax until
Right.
I found out it was confirmed. I was like, dang, that was because it was like just a month previous or something. He had a hoax on him, and so it was almost like it was so weird.
It was. And like, imagine being his wife and seeing this and like not knowing if that's true. And the fear of like, oh my God, my husband and my 13-year-old daughter are on this helicopter. Like, I don't know what's going on. And imagine like trying to call him and not getting through. And like, dude, I got goosebumps talking about it. But just the thought of that makes me fucking sick to my stomach because it's nothing
Yeah.
I would ever want to experience or want anybody to ever experience. Has to be one of the most awful things.
Yeah, I get scared sometimes because like
And
Ashley works in another town, and I've mentioned this before. Like her driving every day, or not every day, but every day that she works,
it's scary.
I get a little anxious because that interstate is so busy in the morning and stuff. So whenever it would be the busiest would be like her coming home early or not, around 7 or 8 in the morning. Like that's like when traffic is starting to like, okay, like people are getting up and going, and I don't know, like I try not to think like that and everything and just cherish every moment, yada yada, but like
it happens.
it is just it's crushing because it just makes you think like, man, this can happen to anybody. Like if a helicopter can go down like just randomly after he had made those trips thousands of times in probably that same helicopter, like it was Kobe's own, like he owned this thing, and like I don't know, like I just think about like I've already been over and over in my head of like everything and just his final moments and everything. And by the way, and this isn't necessarily a recommendation, but I listened to, because they brought out like the audio of the helicopter or something, and it was actually kind of interesting how I don't know the pilot's name, and sorry about that, respect to him though, but he they had released the audio of like him talking to whatever, what do you call it, the air like I don't know, like the officials that like help you navigate,
right? Air control.
It was so eerie, dude, because like he sounded so calm and everything, but almost kind of like almost tell, I mean there was like a reason that he was contacting them, I guess.
There was thick fog.
Yeah, okay, well then that would be why. But yeah, he was so okay, well then if it caught fire, like, I don't know, they have to, they're still having to release, at the point of we're recording this, they haven't released anything that's like the cause of the fire or whatever, but yeah, thick fog, and like yeah, like the audio is so eerie because like, and it shows like a little graph of like where they're at in the sky or something, and then you just kind of start seeing, because they connected him, the pilot, to a other official person that was like holding on the line for, in the code of the helicopter is like this green code on the screen, like 7MZ something, like 7MZ, like you're supposed to navigate to something, and then silence. MZ, are you there, or something like that, and like you just see the helicopter, like it just starts going faster and basically to the point of crashing on the hill, and I'm just like, that's crazy. Like it just makes you wonder like what really happened, but but obviously, but yeah, but, and not, we're not trying to hold on for that too long, but definitely sad, and respect and prayers to his wife. And I saw a good post the other day. It was like had her circled, sitting beside him or something, saying like, think about her over anybody. Like
Right.
she's having to wake up without a husband
And
now, and
something happened. Okay, I think Travis is really going to appreciate this. And this is the last thing we're saying about Kobe, because it's just really sad to talk about. The very first tip-off NBA game Sunday was at 4 p.m. and it was the Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Toronto Raptors, and they both took 24-second shot clock violations to honor him, which was very good. At some point during the game, the ball was shot, and the ball landed on the backboard of like the hoop and stayed there right underneath the shot clock as the shot clock read 24 seconds.
what?
I will send you the picture. It is insane.
That's so crazy.
Yes.
It's like he was there.
An hour after they announced his death, that happened.
That's crazy. And I tried to think about just like, oh, people that are going to that basketball, because I heard about that game that day, and like just the shock of like, you got to go, because for one, he was going
to
his
a
daughter's basketball game.
Exactly.
And like just that whole idea that's like,
and he was with
where are they?
He
It's
was
like,
with
they
the
didn't make it.
daughter's teammates, one of the daughter's teammates, which was another girl, and that girl's parents were also involved in that crash.
Well,
In lighthearted news, Trav has a funny story, and I had something absolutely fucking insane happen to me on Twitch today. Whatever you want to talk
right.
about first. Tell your story.
I will briefly say my story because it's really not that interesting, but it's more of just like, it's a work thing. It's a work thing that's like, me and my buddy Thomas that work together found it funny. So like, there's been these like hams in one of our bunkers at work that like weren't priced right or something, and I followed Thomas, and Ben, my boss, was like holding 2 hams, and he was like, can we get a new price on these or something? And then Thomas had walked right by Ben because the higher boss above Ben was getting Thomas's attention, so he walked right by, and Ben just stared into nothing, like, kind of like, really, you walk right past me? And so he said, okay, then Travis, you do this. Like, okay. So, long story short, I had to reprice 2 hams. So, you get, like, you have a little, where I work, you have a scanner, you have a little personal, like, printer, portable printer. So you have to put different kinds of labels in for like variable meat. So it's like what different kinds of meat. So for this, it was a Smithfield spiral hams, and I relabeled
specific.
2 Smith. I mean, shout out to anybody that's like, likes Smithfield hams. I mean, they're supposed to be really good. I don't know if I've had one or not. I probably may have had one, like, and just didn't know what brand I was eating. But anyway, relabeled 2 hams. Took them out to the lady, and of course she was like weird. She was like, "Oh, y'all look so cute carrying them out here too." Like, what? I was like, I want to leave right now.
Right.
Like, what is that? Like, some people just say things, and I handed her the hams, thought it was over, and that was me and Ben doing that together. And then this other lady, I'm next. Okay. And then Ben walks away. He's like, "Well, he can take care of you." Okay. So, and it's funny, too, because the original lady handed me, like, 2 more. She kept, after I would do 2 more, she's like, I'm so sorry. I found a couple more I like, because basically we were marking them down to, like, $5. Like, it's, for hams, so big Smithfield hams, that's really cheap.
If I don't get one of those in my care package, I'm fucking
And so,
starting a
basically,
riot.
long story short, without, like, going on and on about person and person and person, basically, these people became a flock of buzzards just because I was doing it for each person. It became a huge domino effect. And so every time I thought I was done, someone else. So, and I was already needing to get other stuff started. And like, and this one guy kind of felt bad, I guess. He's like, I found one, like, it was like each time I would hand off the relabeled hams, there was somebody else standing there waiting. It like a line basically formed without it being an actual line, a circle of people. So I'm like going to the back of the meat room to be like, see, I knew Dustin would think this was funny. So I'm like going to the back of the meat room, relabeling, and I'm telling you, some of these people were handing me like 5 hams. Like, can you do these? Like, who are you feeding? Anyway,
where the
so,
fuck do
like,
you have room for 5 hams to begin with? What kind of fucking
I know, right? It's literally
fucking complex freezer do you have in your motherfucking house that you are putting 5 big ass fucking hams in? I don't understand.
Some people have those things that okay.
Fuck the chest freezers. You're not putting 5 hams in a fucking chest freezer.
My dad is such a like meat guy, food guy, like cooks things to perfection. Where like he has an entire. He lives more out in the country, so he's able to build whatever. He builds just everything, makes it happen. I mean, he's hired some people for certain things, but he has an entire building on the side of his house that's separate that has like a freezer and a refrigerator and all that for like really intense stuff that you have to freeze for a long time, and it's just crazy.
You Arkansas
and
people
he
are
makes
fucking
his
weird.
own. He kills a deer and makes his own deer jerky too, and it's delicious. But anyway, so like I thought I was for sure done, and it was about 3 p.m., so I changed out my labels and my printer to the yellow labels, and none of this is making any sense. Like, if you know what, I'm not.
I know what
you're
talking.
Anyway,
I know what you're talking about because my
I
fiancé
changed them
works where
over
he
to the
works.
yellow labels. I was gonna say like, if you blah blah blah, like, there's no need for anybody. People can figure out where I work, but I'm not gonna mention it. But like,
I know.
But the yellow labels, and so I needed to get started on CVPing, which is marking down at a certain time of day. So that's basically like meat on, and I'm permanently basically been meat wall now, and I love it. It's exactly what I wanted to do there, so it's been amazing. Because I know what I'm doing every day when I show up, and it's just been like so laid back. So basically, like if say like steak or whatever says the 28th on it, it probably would be marked down already because we marked it down the night before because we do the day of and the next day. So I'd have to mark it down again and then pull it off the wall later at like 8 p.m. So anyway, I started doing that, changed my entire printer to another new labels only for the original lady. And this lady was like Cruella de Vil, like white and black hair dye, like an older lady too. And she walks over, and I thought she was just joking about how all the madness happened. She's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. And then she's like, I found 2 more. I'm like, internally, I'm like, are you freaking serious? But then obviously I'm like, it's okay. Like,
how many hams did this woman buy?
Well, for one, like probably like 6 or 7 at the end of it, but the funny part of it is like, and what Thomas told me later is, you know what it was, right? She told all those other people, hey, you can get a good deal on a ham because the second lady, like rewind a little bit, the second lady literally said to me, you gonna give me as good as a deal as you did her? I'm like, what? Like, I wanted to say, I'm gonna give you the deal that the printer gives you because I can't literally like be like, oh, whatever price.
Yeah.
You know, it's literally just what it happened, and it was a good day for like people to come in there and do that because it was literally marking it down like half off, and it's just basically creating a whole new label for it. Like if you see hams in stores, they'll have like little stickers that are hanging off of it, kind of like, I guess, clothing tags if you want to look at it like that.
Ham
and then
tags.
it has like a ham tag. What? But but she handed me 2 more hams, and so I had to do those this time in front of her, like, because I was already set up. I was just like, all right. And like, she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I am so blessed today that this happened. Like, this is just going to make everyone happy. Oh my God. She just went on and wouldn't stop talking. But at the end of the day, I felt good that I helped all these people out. But the one guy earlier that I said like felt bad, he like handed me the ham, and I was like, okay. So basically from then on, I was like, okay, just one, because I was kind of making sure, like, you're not gonna come up to me with another one, like, in my head. But I'm obviously just saying, like, so just one. And I marked down one, and I'm going out the door to do CVPs, and he's basically coming in the door as I'm going out. You can't do that. It's like you're gonna run into each other. So he was like, I'm sorry, man. He was just like laughing. He was just like, dude, I got one more.
Listen,
I'm like, that whole bunker of hams over there is all gonna be half off by the end of this day, because I almost thought about, like, I ought to just go over there and do all of them, because, like, good lord. But then people would be like, is this already, like, they would want more. They would obviously be like, this is only this is $5. I'd be like, that's cheap.
that is cheap.
Anyway,
I'd be pissed out, to elaborate on your story here. You remember, like, you'd get the text from mom, hey, I got groceries, come outside. Motherfucker, I have to pause my game. Like, you know what I'm talking about. I can't even put into words. I'm speechless just even thinking about this. If my mom, or in this case, my fiance, came home with 7 fucking hams, no. I will turn around and I'll walk the fuck back inside this house, and I'll be like, you
give me the receipt. Give me that receipt.
No, I don't even want the fucking receipts. I don't even want the fucking ham, because I'm eating ham for the next fucking 10 months. Fuck your ham.
I think she bought it for like a church or something, so I can understand.
Hopefully it went to something good. Yeah,
of people,
who knows?
but
If this bitch went home and when I say bitch, I use the term lately. It's just how I talk. Whatever. If she went home and stuffed 7 hams in her freezer, or multiple freezers.
I thought you were gonna say 7 hams in her mouth.
That too. I mean, she might just really fucking like ham. Whatever. Yeah. Hey, people, man, working in retail, I can tell you, people are never satisfied. Never satisfied.
Right.
Where I work, right, I'm not going to say, let's just say my place of work was really affected by the death of Kobe Bryant. I'll just put that out there. You guys can figure it out if you know anything about basketball. He was a signature athlete for us. So we have what's called our hash wall, right, where it's like all the shoes along this back wall, and we take the lids off of them, and it's basically shoes that we don't have a lot of quantity of, and they usually take a pretty significant price cut, right? So 9 times out of 10, the hash wall is like 20 or 30% off of like the price marked on the box, and there's shoes on that wall for $29.97. When you have shoes that are $30, an additional 20% off or an additional 30% off, and for me, even better, because my employee discounts 30% off and stacks on top of that 20 or 30% that it may be, I get shoes for like $7, whatever, besides the point. And we offer a military discount, and we have this thing where if you sign up and download our app, you can save 10% off your purchase in store, right? So this lady came in, Hashwall was 20% off, and I talked her into the membership, got her to download the app because it's completely free to do all that stuff, And she was like, I get a military discount as well. And I was like, okay, well, so you're going to get 20% off. You're then going to get an additional 10% off your purchase for downloading the app, plus an additional 10% off that total for your military discount. This lady, and I explained it to her like this 3 times, okay? So basically, if you guys don't know how this works, if something is 20% off of the price marked, so say there's a pair of shoes that are $100, right? Okay, you take 20% off of that, you get that price. So say you download the app. Okay, take 10% off that price you get after the 20%. Well, hey, you got a military ID, you get a military discount. Okay, so after the 20%, you have your total, you take 20% off, you have that price, take 10% off, you have that price, and it's 10% off that last price, and then that's how you get your final price. Makes sense, right? I would hope so. It doesn't take fucking rocket science to figure that out. So this lady's, she looks at me, she goes, so it's 40% off. And I was like, no, it's not exactly 40% off. And I explained it again for the 5th fucking time to her that no, it is not 40% off. That's not how they calculate it. But in her mind, she assumed, hey, I'm getting 40% off these shoes. She goes up to the register, and at work we have these little headsets and little battery pack things, and we can talk through it. That's how we communicate. And next thing I know, fucking girl at the register's in my ear. Hey, these shoes, this lady's getting, are they 40% off? And I was like, no, they're not. They're only 20% off. I was like, but she downloaded the app. She has a military discount. So you would stack it. So it'd be 20, then 10, then 10. And that would give her her final price. This lady was so fucking mad that she did not get 40% off. And they broke it down into four separate, well, basically it was three separate markdowns. And this lady literally walked out without her shoes. Like, did not pay for them, was pissed off, telling people that I lied to her.
You told her, like, that's not...
And she was like, she's
like,
up
it's
at the
just
front.
not
She's
the
like,
deal.
She's like, oh, he told me 40% off. And I was like, I did not fucking tell you 40% off. You assumed 40% off. You're
She's just
fucking
trying
crazy.
to get 40% off.
Unbelievable. And then tonight, first of all, I had the most pointless shift in the entire fucking world, okay? I only live 10 minutes away from my job. I worked 5:30 to 10 o'clock. The thing is, it's dead. Retail right now is dead. If you work in retail, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's after the holidays. Not until the fucking tax refunds start rolling through, people are going to start coming and shopping. But this woman tonight came in with another lady, and they were pushing around a stroller. The one lady left, went to a different store, and she ended up purchasing something from our store. Cool. Thank you. You know, we appreciate your service, you know, your business. This other lady lingered around our store for over an hour. She had an armful of clothing. And I mean, like, when I said she had probably like 10 or 12 articles of clothing on, like, wrapped around her arm, pants, hoodies. She probably had about $450, $500 worth of clothing. So it's like $850. We close at 9 o'clock, right? So I was only there for 3 hours. Not that that fucking matters. Pointless shift. I wasted 20 minutes of my life driving there and back, 10 minutes each way. This woman goes to walk up to the register, and the girl at the register was like, oh, hey, you know, are you ready to check out? And this lady sidesteps and sprints out the fucking door with the merchandise. Last customer of the day.
Wow.
People are shitty.
I think I told you that I saw a chick steal a TV, right? I'm not sure.
A whole ass TV?
I like how he reacted, like, no, like, just like, you process the information
A whole
and
fucking
realize,
TV.
I haven't heard that, like, just real quick, because I do want to talk about what the main subject was supposed to be about today, and the main subject that Anthony made a thumbnail for.
We will talk about that.
So, anyway, long story short, there's this hallway down at the back of where I work. There's this hallway around the whole store that you can avoid being on the floor. I like that. Don't have to avoid, just like avoid customers. We do it all the time. We go all the way around. So there's this hallway, and like looking into the produce department, like it's just like where a hallway ends. It's just, how do I say it? Like if you stood at the end of, I don't know if Justin has a hallway. Like if you stood at the end of a hallway and like you look down the hallway and it opens into the living room, like, or whatever, It's kind of like that, where it opened to a bigger space, and to the right of where it was opening, or where it was opening, where it opens, the produce section was currently opening, like, what? There's a door to the out, and that's where the pickup crew, the online shopping, that's their door. Like, they use that. And I'm surprised that, like, it doesn't lock. If anyone wants to steal something, it doesn't lock, guys.
Jesus.
It doesn't lock from the inside, apparently. Actually, I take that back. It locks from the outside. No one can get back in. If you're out there, you're pretty much trapped unless someone opens the door. Pretty much between certain hours. Anyway, I'm walking through that hallway, and I just see a lady with a cart really far away, like a tiny ant, just like bolt through that like opening. I just see through a just doorway basically at the end of the hall. I just see her bolt through, and it clicked in my head because the alarm was going off, and I saw this big A TV, 50-inch,
Big ass 50-inch
just
TV.
in the cart, and she had like Mountain Dew and stuff underneath in the cart, and I think she might have saw me because they left all of that. They left everything but the TV. Like, think about it. I gotta have my Mountain Dew, and she bolts with that too, and then leaves it behind. I didn't get my Mountain Dew. Yeah, I just heard like, a truck take off. So she like threw the TV in there, and someone was already ready driving. Like,
That's crazy.
Unless she really jumped in that fast. But anyway, that was a long time ago. But pretty much around the time I just started.
Before we get into our main subject, I just want to say I had the most insane fucking experience my entire life on Twitch. I just started live streaming 8 days ago. Travis knows I live stream on Twitch TV/NotDustinsMC. Also, please subscribe to my fiance's YouTube channel and send her some viewers because she really, really is getting upset.
All the links in the description, guys.
Yes. So
another one to add. I'm going to be adding Dustin's freaking Twitch channel now, so that's like 103.
That's good.
Links.
So, if you guys are familiar with Twitch, long story short, when you start, you're on what's called the path to affiliate. Affiliate basically means people can subscribe to you and pay money every month, $4.99 a month, $5. The Twitch streamer earns half of that, so I would earn $2.50 off each subscriber. You guys can donate bits. It's just cool. Like, it just opens you up to getting paid. I can have ads on my thing and, ad revenue and all that. So really cool. Anyways, in order to get to affiliate, you have to stream for 7 days, like 7 different days, which is easy. Stream for 8 hours total, easy. Get 50 followers, which is tough, and then you have to have 3 concurrent viewers every single stream. So, and the shitty thing about the concurrent viewers are, say, like, you have a stream, you have 5 viewers, right? You stream again, you have 1 viewer. Your average goes down. So you have to keep the average above 3 concurrent viewers every stream. I was streaming today. I started today before work, streaming Spider-Man PS4. I started the stream with 28 followers, and literally all the followers were all I needed to hit affiliate. I ended my stream with just a little over 2 hours with 61 followers and pulled almost 50 concurrent viewers that stream. I literally hit affiliate in 8 days, and it takes people months. Absolutely insane.
That blows my mind. It's like, and he sent me a snapshot of it, and I'm like,
holy
what?
Shit.
Like, I didn't even, I had to click on it to full screen it, and I was like, wait, you're basically, well, quote unquote, Twitch partner already.
Not Twitch partner.
Whatever you want to call that.
In order to get Twitch partner, I have to have 75 concurrent viewers. Fucking impossible, if you ask me. Like, by the time you have a stream where you're pulling 75 concurrent viewers, you're doing it full time. There's no doubt in my mind. You have to stream for 12 days and 25 hours. I'll hit the 12 days because I'm at 8. I'm at like 17 out of 25 hours. But the 75 concurrent viewers, that's how you get Twitch partner. But eventually one day, who knows, it could happen.
Right.
And what is the big thing that you wanted to talk about? We got a little carried away, guys. Sorry, Anthony, if you made the thumbnail, and I'm sorry that I fucking suck at taking selfies because I'm sick of seeing my cross-eyed face.
It's still technically
yes.
about this. There was just a lot of build-up to the real subject.
Yeah. We were going to have we might have another episode where we really like start with it and end with it because it's something we can talk about for hours. And Trav and I have talked about it for hours.
Well, to try to touch on it, kind of a part 1 version of this.
Yes, and we're talking about the A word. I was going to say asshole, but whatever. I'm just kidding.
Anxiety is
terrible.
Like my absolute. When I try to think about and billions of people struggle with anxiety. So please let us know if you want to make it public.
Dude,
how you struggle with it, whatever, you can talk to us. We're here for you. We're just a couple guys that struggle with mental things as well, and we're here to make it better, like try to improve and be positive about things and try to move forward. Anxiety is my biggest enemy.
Mm-hmm. It's my kryptonite.
I've tried to think about, because like anxiety, like I don't think I've never been diagnosed with depression. Like anxiety is just. It's that thing for me, though, where if it's too into my head, it leads to that. And it's my biggest enemy. Like, I already know, and I've done all the research. This is kind of like, because I don't admit this a lot. I have, Ryan knows, Ashley knows, like, and I've admitted it. I've even admitted it to a person's face because they were honest about me, like, man, you don't really talk much, and, like, you're not very social or whatever, and I'm like, that's what I get for having an anxiety disorder, and he fist bumped me for that, because he was like, that's why I like you, Travis, because you're real, and I'll never forget that, because that's just true. Like, I know I have an anxiety disorder. I've done all the, like, looking into it and everything without even being diagnosed. Like, I don't, and just, a little bit of other, like, something else about me is I don't have a therapist or anything. I thought about it. But right now I'm just kind of like, oh, money. I don't want to go to therapy or anything
Therapy's expensive
right now. Because it could be expensive.
Welcome to
like,
our
as
podcast.
much as I know it'll help, because I've heard Jeremy Johns on YouTube. He has admitted in his vlogs, like, he has a therapist and he likes to talk about things, and you find out a lot about yourself. And there's a lot of things that I need to get back into doing. I need to get back into, and I'm gonna take well, I won't say how many, but I'm gonna take my days off to meditate. I need to get back into meditation. Meditation is a very, like, and I'm not talking about prayer. Like, I believe in God and I'm a Christian, but like, I can maybe pray before it. Like, just ask God, like, let this meditation session be a good one, and blah blah blah. But anyway, that's like different. But just being in silence. And because a year ago or so, I was actually trying, because I learned through the internet, somebody that really meditates a lot and does it every day, no matter what, like no matter what you went through. It basically taught him, like, being in control of your life. And I think that's where anxiety really wedges in with me, is maybe one day I will name, it's kind of like, I call it coming out of the closet, like, about it, but it's like, and no, I'm not gay, like, stop it, guys. I'm married to a woman, and I'm straight, even though, like, people put, well, that doesn't mean, like, yeah, for me it does. I like women. But, coming out of the closet, like, in a way of, like, right now in this podcast, I'm not going to name, because I know the name of my disorder, but I'm not, like, it's just, maybe in time. Like, it's too embarrassing. Like, it's just kind of like, I'm not willing to tell the whole world, because it's none of y'all's business anyway, if I'm being honest. This is just me being completely open about it. But my disorder is just really, like, it's really intense. And, like, in the way of, like, and I've kind of noticed, too, as I've let my health kind of, like, I've gotten chubbier and stuff like that, I've noticed that it's more.
Amen, brother.
More often.
Me fucking too. I have a dad bod, and I'm okay with it.
And I think my social anxiety, and I'm talking about social anxiety, guys, like, social is that's the one, that's the anxiety disorder that I have, and like I said, there's a certain word for it, and I have reasons for everything, you'll just have to believe me. But, like, if I overthink it, and if I go into a social situation almost preparing to have anxiety, therefore I have anxiety. My social anxiety is a pattern. And I've done all of this in my head. I've figured it all out of, like, what, and there was a point in time a couple years ago where I was so, guys, it's going to make me get emotional. I was so free from it. I figured out I don't have that anymore. Oh my God, I'm free. And then suddenly, recently, I'm like, oh crap, it's back. Yeah. And it's basically, and long story short, without going too much into it, but it's basically just like, I get really sweaty. Like, and people point out that I'm sweating, and, like, that's the only way I'm going to.
And then you get self-conscious, and then you're like,
and I get self-conscious about, like, I don't want to do that again, so then you start doing this spiral where you start avoiding social situations, and all of that is not freaking healthy. Like, because you got to be a part of people, like, even if you're an introvert, which I am, like, I'm not like the guys, I'm going to go out and party. I'm just a very, like, I like to just chill at home, whatever, and hang out with Ashley, like, and she's kind of that way too, more introverted. She's actually, surprisingly, as shy as she is and everything, more extroverted than I am about things, where I'm, like, every time that we're together, I would rather just stay home, but, like, and hang out, or, go do stuff. I love getting up and, like, let's go eat restaurant, blah, 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 and, like, and guys, and there's a whole thing, and like Dustin said, we'll go into a whole podcast eventually about this, because there's a lot to dive into, but, like, being a YouTuber too is, like, it really helps me, but I literally kind of almost fear, like, not really fear, but just like, oh God, how am I gonna be, like, if I ever get recognized, and like and how, like, I don't, because, like, what, I know this is a silly thought, but what if they unsub because they're just like, well, he's kind of, like, too, like, he's really, hey, guys, this is Trav, blah, blah, in these videos, and then he's actually very shy and everything. I was like, well, I always try to tell people that, like, that is how I am. Like, that, right. My videos are me. It's the best version of me. And I've always said that. Like, where people say, you're so different in your videos, I'm like, yeah, but not really. Internally, that is me. Like, I love to be energetic and, like, talk. And, like, whenever, me and Dustin are talking off recording or I'm with Thomas at work or whatever, I will talk and talk and talk. Mm-hmm. You just gotta, like, get past that wall of knowing me. And, like, because I'm not just gonna say stuff, like, to random people. Like, it's none of their business. Like, you gotta get to know me first. I play hard to get, basically. And but I love people so much. Like, I love connecting. Like, it's why I'm a YouTuber, it's like at least one of the reasons, like, food reviewing leading to realizing there's a bigger picture of, like, connecting with people and all that. And that's one of the evolutions of my channel is doing this podcast with Dustin. Like, it's literally, like, if I want to count that as evolving into, like, a light conversation, that's what it is. Cause podcast is literally just talking.
Yeah. We literally just talk. And the thing to note about anxiety too, is it affects everybody differently. Like, my social anxiety is different from Trav's social anxiety. And lately, dude, man, straight up anxiety fucking sucks. It sucks. And it sucks even more when you come to terms with knowing that you have it or finding out you have it. But it's like, it's there.
That's also how you fix it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you do. And lately, man, and I'm going to be open and honest with everybody here. Mine has been bad. My anxiety has been awful because I have this tendency, like, my social anxiety is not as bad now, but when I did deal with it, it was horrible. I couldn't even order, like, food at a restaurant myself. And if I did, I could not look the waiter or waitress in the eyes. I buried my face, mumbled what I wanted in the menu, and that was it. I had such a hard time with that. And obviously, like, I kind of was like, like, this isn't me, man. Like, I'm actually really happy-go-lucky and a very outgoing person. And I've just took that, that energy. Like, again, I go back to speaking things into existence. I, like, told myself, like, I'm not going to be this, like, closeted person, like, I'm not going to just hold things in. Like, I need to start expressing myself. And I do. And I've made so many awesome friends because of it, like Trav. But my anxiety, I tend to think about something, like, and it's been bad with Trista lately. Not bad, not our relationship. God, that fucking sounded so wrong. Where, like, she hasn't been feeling good, and Trista's been through a lot, and she's been kind of in, like, a funk lately, and, like, moods come and go. Women have mood swings. People have mood swings. It's normal. And anytime where she seemed off or distant from me because she was just, like, not feeling well, or, like, kind of in, like, just a different mental state, not necessarily depressed, but just kind of like like, people have those moods, and I instantly think it's me, and my mind starts racing, and, like, it eventually, I think about the worst possible thing, and I kept asking Trista, I was like, what's going on? Like, are we okay? Like, are we breaking up, or do you want to leave me? And just, like, and then I get, like
basically in her eyes, it's like, he's jumping the gun, man. Like,
right. Yeah. And like, I mean, yeah. And
I think that way too sometimes.
And she does, like, she gets, like, upset about it. Like, obviously, like, it hurts her, but, like, it's not me trying to hurt her. It's me, like, give me the fucking clarification. But, when I get the clarification, because by the time she gets sick of me saying it, she's like, yes, we're fine, and says it, like, with such, like with an attitude of, like, shut the fuck up, I'm sick of hearing about it. And then, like, I'm like, oh my God, like, no, like, it's over. Even though she told me what I wanted to hear or what I needed to hear.
Even though it was like, you thought it was over originally, and now It's for sure over.
And the worst part of my anxiety, and this is what drives me nuts the most, is my mind is constantly racing. Constantly. And I'll lay down in bed, and I don't know what it is. And this is going to sound like, how, like, you get songs stuck in your head, and you, like, sing them to yourself, like, throughout the day. When I lay down in bed, and it's weird, like, there's times where, like, if I think about it, there's times where I think about nothing. Like, I swear to God, if you looked at me, there's fucking elevator music playing in my head. Like, like, I'm not with it. I'm zoned out. The minute I lay down and I know I have to go to sleep, anxiety kicks in. And I just start thinking. And it's not even like thinking about like tomorrow or what is coming up in like a week or two. It's none of that. I start like crunching numbers in my head. Like I'll start doing math in my head, and it goes, it doesn't stop. Or I'll hear a song in my head, and I'll lay there and I'll close my eyes, and it's all I fucking hear. And or like think of.
And you wake up with it still in your head. And then I've done that before.
Dude, it's not even that I like necessarily don't even fall asleep. I go into like this trance almost of like, yeah, my eyes are closed, and like my body's shut down, but my mind is awake. And when my mind's awake, you know, dude, here's the thing. And I've had this too, where I've like, I'm going to put this in air quotes, fallen asleep and have slept for 8 hours, 9 hours, woke up, and it's like I didn't sleep at all. It's just because my mind just did not fucking stop. And there's been times where I've literally laid in bed and just cried because it doesn't stop. Like it literally has almost pushed me to like the brink of insanity because my mind just does not shut off. And luckily Trista has to sleep with like a fan on because she needs noise. And I can get myself now where if I lay in bed and I listen to the sound of the fan, it shuts my mind off. It's really weird. It doesn't help all the time, but it helps most of the time. But just, man, anxiety fucking sucks. And I've been diagnosed with depression, and anxiety and depression do not mix well at all.
They you know, yeah, they're cut off the same cloth in a way, I guess is the best way to word it. Is like they're different things, but like each one feeds the other. And the snake that never ends, or whatever you call it, the snake that just keeps eating itself. There's a name for that. But you know, and I'm with you on that, man. Like everything you're saying, I'm like, man, yep. But I actually used to have that. I remember when I had really bad, and I just labeled that like what I have version of what you have. It's like that's a lot of that's just straight up insomnia, where it's like mind wandering, and I'm pretty happy today where like, and this is a little bit of glimmer of hope to Dustin, where it's like, I think that'll stop, man, because
it will.
And I'm not saying that it's the exact same, but also because I've been through that. I've been through that thing where it's like I try to go to sleep, I feel sleepy, I feel the heaviness, and then it's like I feel like, man, I just didn't sleep because my mind just kept going. And like I think now with my work and everything, I get so tired at work and stuff where it's just like my body at a certain time is just like, it is time to die like for 8 hours or whatever. And I will shut down. Like I am really happy today to be able to say, like, when I close my eyes to go to sleep, very soon after I am in deep sleep. And that used to not be a thing. Like and especially when I didn't have a job, and I think that was one of the biggest differences of that was I had all the time in the world to sleep, so therefore it didn't really matter, and I think it just made my mind wander more. And now, you know, with working and everything, and you're a working man anyway, so it's kind of a different situation, but like,
right,
you know, working and keeping your mind on other things. But
lately I've been falling asleep great. Like last night, I don't remember what I was doing. I think Tristan she recorded a video. She recorded a Sims video, which I'm actually going to be editing tonight, and we'll get it uploaded tomorrow. But besides the point. But like afterwards, we just like laid in bed and talked, and she got up and she's like, okay, like I'm going to go get a shower and whatnot. And I was like, okay. And she went down, and by the time she got back up here out of her shower, I was passed the fuck out. Like slumped out cold. And I woke up at 7 to put our kid on the bus, and I was up, and I'm like, wow, like, and it was good. The last few nights I've had no issues falling asleep whatsoever, but man, like I said, there are times where my mind just races. And it's literally, when it's the song, it's the same fucking song every time. Like, thank God it's a good song. If you guys have not listened to I Think I'm Okay by Machine Gun Kelly and Youngblood, listen to it, because
I still gotta I keep forgetting about that, and I still gotta check it out.
You gotta listen to it. I'm gonna link it to you after this. But
I'm also going to link you something about the guy that kind of mentored me. I call it almost mentored. Like, he didn't specifically mentor, but I took everything he said in his video to heart. And about meditation, and like he basically was saying, like, you need to train if you're going to start meditation, it's like one of those things that you got to train yourself to do it every day for the rest of your life, because therefore, in the moments of meditation, it's basically just like, long story short, I mean, there is I could write out a huge paragraph of what this guy said, and I've decided recently, because of my mental problems and stuff, like, I'm going to get back on that bandwagon and also work out, because I do have a Planet Fitness membership that I haven't been using. So it's like, I'm going to hit the gym and give up the Oreos.
He's going to get small.
Freaking most stuff Oreos. Like, I ate like 6 Oreos today. Like, what am I? Like, what is this? Why am I doing
Those are
like
rookie
a human,
numbers.
but I can feel it in my freaking poop. I'm like, I can tell I'm
numbers.
uncomfortable. Like,
rookie numbers. 6 Oreos.
I could just tell. Like, and I don't know if anybody else has this. Cheez-Its. What is it about Cheez-Its that make, like, it's not like, it doesn't hurt, it's just like I can tell I'm uncomfortable after I go. Anyway, like, just kind of that itch.
And we're talking about
no matter how much you wipe. No matter how much you wipe.
Listen,
and I know there's that whole thing, you leave some behind and it makes you itch. That's not that. I clean and clean and clean. It's still like kind of, it's raw. So.
And we're talking about Travis's butthole.
So.
Awkward. Travis is talking about his bunghole.
So basically, like, yeah, I'm going to send Dustin that link, and I would give
He's going to send me that link. Travis is off for a couple days. Travis is also going to...
I like how you're like, a couple days.
Travis is going to...
No one's going to make it to the end of this podcast anyway. No. Like, at least my family. They don't care.
Travis is going to cure one of my anxiety
about the freaking care package. I already know where you're going.
Dude, I'm not gonna bring up the care package this time. But honestly, man,
irony.
The last time that I laid in bed, I literally thought about, like, oh my god, Travis is gonna put something fucking gross in that goddamn care package and he's gonna send it to me.
But you just said it's not about Anyway,
it's because you beat me to it, so I had to redirect you.
Well, I talked about pooping. I mean, I can't go to UPS and be like, send this. Though obviously it'll be open. Like, there's poop.
Shit in my care package. Shit in my care
with
package.
With like a message written in the poop. And even I wouldn't be able to do that with my finger or anything.
All it says is like Travis would, he'll take his fingers and like try to write, like, smear shit on the box. And like, it's going to be funny because I'm going to open it up and I'm think it's going to say fuck you, but it's going to say fudge you. Because Travis doesn't swear.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, fudge. And then I, like, take a 2 fingers full of it and lick it. And then I fucking get the coronavirus and die on my living room floor. Because it was not fudge, it was shit. Salmonella. I get fucking parvo from eating Travis's shit.
What? I like how this is, like, wrapping up so, like, we always talk about farts and pooping and everything, and it's somehow
God,
like, ending this.
I have a really funny story, okay? And then I got my recommendation real quick because we have 57 minutes. Oh, Lord. Okay, so...
Oh, it's all right. I think we're going to go a little over. We pushed so much into that first subject.
We're doing
it.
Okay. We're doing it. Anyways, so I was at work today, right? And I was in men's footwear, one of the zones. I'm always in footwear, by the way. I'm a fucking shoe nerd. But fuck you if you hate me for that. I don't care. And I was working with my coworker.
Like 3,000 shoes, something like that.
No, not 3,000. Jesus Christ, it'd be insane. Jesus Christ.
Continue.
Anyways, one of my coworkers, who's a female, not gonna mention her name, love her to death. She's so funny, and she's a bad bitch. Let me tell you, like that. You meet her, and like the first rule is like, don't piss her off because she will fucking rip your face off and not care, not even think twice about it. She's awesome. So her and I get along really well because we're both very blunt people. So we were talking, just general conversation, like center between like men's footwear and women's footwear, because we have this like center like wall and there's benches in front of where people sit and try on shoes and make a fucking mess. Fuck you people that come in my store and make a goddamn mess. I'm sick of picking up after you. Anyways, we were talking and I like, man, as you get older, if you contort or move your body a certain way, you fart. Like, it just fucking happens. Whether you try to hold it, push it out, it don't matter. Like, if you move a certain way, it's a boom, air biscuit. Like, it doesn't stop, right? So, like, I'm talking to her, and I, like, turned to crack my back, and I didn't crack my back. I cracked my fucking, my butt cheeks, right? I let a cheek steamer go. And it was, like, it wasn't like a long, slender one. It was like a pop, It was like a...
Yeah, just one of those...
Yeah. And she looked at me, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, fuck, dude, she heard it.
She heard it.
So
you knew,
I didn't know what
she
to
heard
do.
that.
I couldn't bring it up in conversation. So I literally looked her dead in the eyes, lifted my leg, and let out a nasty long fart. It's because
you're just like, you're basically like, well, dude, I'm already in. So
it was like a
go.
fucking M80 firecracker. So for one, it's like, okay, like I can't even keep the conversation going because I know in my mind she heard me fart. She definitely heard it because I watched a smirk come across her face. I'm like, fuck. Like I can't even continue this conversation about children.
You're just like, now I'm all the way there, so I might as well.
Now
just
I have to fart. I lifted my leg and I didn't even get out. She's like, I fucking hate you, and she walked away laughing. Dude, it was amazing. Loud, man.
I mean, we all fart. It's kind of like, it's hard to like kind of break that wall sometimes of it, like admitting what farting is, but then when you realize, man, like everyone does, and women do fart.
The best part.
Break that theory, you freaking virgins!
Dude,
like,
just do it. Dude.
No one's like, women don't fart.
Women poop too. My wife takes the nastiest shits I've ever seen, smelled, or heard in my life. Okay, I'm just gonna be the first one to say it. Whatever. She's not in the room. She's gonna listen to this. I'm gonna fucking die in my sleep. Anyways, the best part about the second fart where I just fucking let it loose, I held that bitch in F sharp. Dude, it squealed. It was like.
F sharp.
I'm telling you, man. Like,
oh my god.
It literally sounded like somebody sliced through my fart with a hot butter knife.
My recommendation, people.
Fart.
God, that's gonna take me a minute. I like how, and I can't transition. It's like it's not serious, but a good channel out there. And then I was gonna recommend it. And now it's like I just gotta let all of the laughs out first. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave his channel in the description. The 104th thing in the description. Nathaniel Drew, big YouTuber. He lived in Italy, and now and he's American. And I don't know. Somewhere else. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But he makes the best, like, self-improvement content. And he also is another one that's like, he has admitted he sucks at meditation and, like, he's trying to improve. But, like, he's this very, like, energetic, like, just, I don't know, he's around me and Dustin's age. And he's just, like, his videos have literally, like, helped me, like, to rethink on certain things. And like there's this one that was like how I journal my thoughts or something like that, and he writes everything down, and it made me kind of really inspired to like, man, I could really start doing that, because basically like the video is just like, okay, if you have all of your thoughts out in front of you, you can literally read your thoughts, like, and look and think back and read like a thought that you've had and really break it down as to what it means and like all this stuff. And I know that's a lot of work and a lot of people don't have that kind of time, but let's all be honest, we have time to do things like that because we lay in bed before we go to sleep, then therefore you have time. Just like people that ghost you and all that stuff, they had time to talk to you, by the way, because they laid in bed and looked at their freaking phone. Anyway, I've had arguments with people. I've had arguments with past relationships and stuff like that, and girls and everything, because they ignored me. But anyway, so anyway, Nathaniel Drew is an amazing, and I think this anxiety kind of subject podcast episode is perfect to drop his channel, because I cannot recommend him enough, guys. Go check out his videos. You guys are going to, I think you're gonna love it. You're gonna love his channel. He's very like, his editing is so, I'm gonna send Dustin one of his videos. Like, his editing is so good. Like, he is beyond professional. Like, this is like just like, it feels like a whole team like made his videos, but it's all him. And he's also so like particular about everything, where like he has anxiety and stuff too, so if things aren't perfect, it's just not. And the perfection part of that goes into his editing. Like, he's really like, you know that it took him a while to edit that. And but anyway, self-improvement. I think his motto of his channel that he uses is like looking for mental clarity. Like, that's basically what the whole channel is about. It's just mental, like, your mental battles, everything, just kind of laying it out. He'll narrate over footage of, like, a lake and, like, all these different, just, like, it really relaxes you kind of, too, because he's got all this amazing imagery, especially when he was in, like, Italy or wherever that was. It's, like, all these places that you don't get to see every day. It's amazing. Nathaniel Drew, go check him out. Give him a subscribe, even though he has probably, like, 5 million subs. But, you know what? Add a couple million more. Even though we don't have those subs, but what is your recommendation, sir?
My recommendation is, and this is going to be more of like a piece of life advice. If you firmly believe in something and believe that you can accomplish something, fucking pursue it. Push for it, because no matter like how hard it may be and the trials and tribulations you will face, it will pay off in the end in some way or another. I'm going to use my Twitch as an example. I started it like because I was like, me and my fiance are talking about building a gaming PC together because she wants to play Sims on there, and I was like, you know, that can like honestly take my content to this next level. I already have an established fan base. It makes sense for me to invest money in something like that, you know. And if I can invest money in it and she's willing to make content, it's just going to further progress. It's going to progress her channel earlier on than it is for me. So there's a lot of ups to it. And I started the whole Twitch thing out of just randomness, pure randomness. I was like, I'm gonna fucking stream on Twitch. Like all my friends do it, you know, like I want to grow together. I want to grow with them. And my wife and I, fiance, we're laying in bed one night and she brought it up and she was like, do you actually like it? And I was like, honestly, it's like, I love it. And I just have this really, really good feeling about it. Then like 2 or 3 days later, tonight happened and it just blew my mind. And it just goes to show that if you are like passionate about something, in Travis and I's case, it's creating content. Obviously, you know, we both have main channels. I stream on Twitch. I basically run my fiance's channel. She just records, I edit, I upload, I do everything. And then this podcast, like, you know, we're passionate about it. And yeah, it's a slow start, but this podcast is going to gain traction. I feel it. So don't be afraid to push yourself to accomplish things that you love. And it's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations, like I said, but you just got to keep fighting and keep pushing through because it does pay off. Also, before Trav and I ended, I just want to say, I talked to somebody that Travis and I mentioned in a podcast, a guy by the name of EasyNow1337.
Oh, wow.
He messaged me on Facebook 2 days ago and was like, hey man, like he found the video I made about him that I was telling you guys about like thanking him for talking to me. And he was like, he literally told me, he's like, man, look, you know, he's like, I go back and watch that video all the time for the simple fact that like it gets me through so much shit. He was diagnosed with autism, depression, anxiety, all of that. And that video that I made helps him. And it's weird because my video, like, you know, I made it because he inspired me, but my video ended up inspiring him. And he said that when he is feeling better, he would like to be on the podcast with us. He didn't give me a specific time, dude. But that would be really cool.
Yeah, man, and we're open to guests. We're open to literally any of you being guests. We just have conversations.
I want to get my buddy Sean on the podcast. I know my friend Brent, who I do the marketplace stuff, wants to be on the podcast. We will get people. We just got to find a way to get Sean to record with us because Sean doesn't have a way to record his own audio. So we'll have to like try to find an app. Maybe Trav can do some research. I'll do some research. We can find some we can all get on and kind of like get all of our audio going. So once we figure out a good way to incorporate it.
Does he have a computer, or do you know?
He does, but I don't think he has a microphone to use to like record.
Okay, well, I mean, you know, some default stuff, like, I mean, and that's another thing we want you guys to know. You don't have to have the best equipment for you to come on as a guest. We will record, like, on my old podcast, Trav Talks, on my channel, I record. I had Jason Callan as a guest, and he was on speaker on the phone because he doesn't have jack. So it's just kind of like, you know, recording audio through your computer. Like, I remember Anthony, whenever he was on my podcast, my old one, he was like, man, I feel so bad. Like, I just recorded through the computer. I'm like, dude, it sounded good. Like, it wasn't, like, the best, obviously, but it sounds better than, like, speaker on the phone or anything like that, where I'm just having to hold the phone to the microphone. Like, if you have any capability of recording in any way, like, you can use that. Like, we're not, like, we might have good mics. I literally bought a good mic to record it because I knew moving forward, if I'm going to do weekly episodes every Thursday and Friday, like, well, same episode, but you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I needed something, like something better. I wasn't pleased with what I had, so I got something better to sound even better. So, like it doesn't, you don't have to be rich or anything to come on this podcast. Like we're open to talk to anybody. Yes. Because people are more understanding than you think. I mean, some are dicks or whatever on, hating and all that. Like
Travis said dicks.
Blah, blah, blah.
Travis
like,
said
like
dicks.
Crap. It's like,
Mark, ladies and gentlemen,
it's not for them.
Mark this on your motherfucking calendars. January 29th, 2020. Travis said the word dicks. Oh my god, I feel like a fucking proud father. Holy shit.
What? You've never heard me say dick? I say it all the time.
I've never heard you say
I say it also to Thomas because he'll be a dick all the time, and
now
I'll
he's
just be
just
like,
saying it to make me
it's
happy.
it's like an inside joke with me and him where he'll do something and go ha ha or whatever. I'm like, dick. Like I just put a period on it. Like that's all I have to say, and he starts laughing. Anyway,
that's funny.
So, but guys, real quick before I wrap it up, to kind of jump off of what Dustin said earlier. I got a text just now and it threw me off. But anyway, never let anyone slow you down from what you want to do. You get one little comment, you get, if you're a young teenager and you get someone that's like, you're fat or whatever, like, I was about to say punch them in the face. No, just don't do that at school, but
take it with a grain of salt.
Find somewhere else. Find somewhere else, but don't go too far. Like, don't kill them. It doesn't matter what they say or what they think. I have people like that don't hate. I don't have anybody that's like hates me or anything, but like I have people that I know in my heart and soul aren't necessarily completely supportive of like, oh yeah, you have a podcast, but who cares? You know what I mean? It's like, just like, if it's not for them, it's not for them. I'm going to freaking do what I want to do to be happy, and to be happy is this podcast, my channel, and everything that I'm doing. Like, I enjoy this. Elizabeth Ricard the other day said, like, I'm sorry I haven't been really listening to your podcast, because she's a huge follower on my food review channel, and I'm like, she's like, I'm sorry I haven't really listened to the podcast or anything, I'm just not really, I don't know, like, and I was like, I understand. It's not for everybody.
Mm-mm.
If anything, this is for people that enjoy podcasts, or you're starting to be open to podcasts because it's me and Dustin, and you already like us. So that's kind of how I see this, is you could easily, or this is the only one you listen to. That's a blessing anyway. But I also urge you to open your mind to like, well, just, go look up podcasts. Go watch Genius Brain or any of those. Like, they're amazing podcasts. Or Ear Biscuits, which is Rhett and Link's podcast. They're amazing too. Like, conversation and just having something to listen to on the way to work, on your break, or if you're just really bored, get off your freaking phone game or whatever. And like, unless it's Pokemon Go, that's good. And listen to a podcast. Just indulge in another person's life for an hour or just however much time you have, because it's not your life, and it can kind of take you out of your mind, like you're dealing with mental issues and all this stuff, like just escaping somewhere. That's what it is. That's kind of what, I mean, in a way, like there's a lot of reasons to listen to a podcast, but one main reason is like kind of an escape.
It's literally a vacation for your mind.
Exactly. Like same thing with video games and movies. It's this escape factor. So I know that was a little bit long, guys, but you know what? And Dustin, I think, and I've been wanting to say this for the past 2 episodes, I just keep forgetting. I think we should start ending every podcast with your quote, because I still like it to this day, and I feel like it could easily, obviously can't be trademarked because you saw it from somebody else, but it's even on Dustin's arm.
It is tattooed on me for life. It is just a bad day.
It's just a bad day.
Not a bad life.
But not a bad life.
Bang.
Do I? What?
We did it.
Oh.
We said it together. It was kind of weird. Jinx, you owe me a fucking Coke and a care package.
Did you already end your recording?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, did you just mean that you ended it?
Wait, here we go.
This is all gonna be kept in, by the way. Anyway.
We'll see you.
See you guys.